Alright, sound. Okay, welcome guys to another episode of Talking Smack. It has been a while, but it always is a while between episodes. But I'm very excited for this one. We're doing a Premier League season preview with a lot of new faces to the show. So, first of all, it's not a new show, new face. It's Fez, who was on the last episode. Welcome back, bro.
Nice. Thanks for having me. Like you say, it has been a while.
Yeah, and looking forward to having a good chat with you. Jimmy, first time appearance on the podcast. You probably won't see him on video, but he's been in videos before, such as Foot Golf. You can watch it up there. And another new face, we've got Ali, who is a Man United fan who apparently knows something about football. So
Thank you for having me.
We're going to find out about that today. Welcome, bro.
Thank you for having me.
So, I think we might as well just start with the big boys because that's what we really want to talk about. But we all talk about relegation, overachievers, underachievers, and individual awards later on. But I want to start with Spurs because no one here is a Spurs fan. And City, that's title race, I guess. But Spurs are a very interesting one because they've made the most high-profile signings, I think, along with maybe City and Arsenal. They've been very busy. Antonio Conte's first full season, and a lot of people have them down to have a very good season. They've got Champions League football as well, of course. But do you guys buy into the hype?
For me as a Chelsea fan, obviously, what Conte did for us in that season and a half or whatever he had. My love for Conte will always be there. Changing that system to that back three, bringing the best out of Diego, Fabregas, that little link up was just beautiful. And now we can see that with Son and Kane. And I think with the signings of Perisic especially, I feel like that left hand side has just changed completely now. Son's going to be there on that side, linking up with Harry Kane. And I think them three in particular are my three standouts for Tottenham. And I think, yeah, you can buy into it.
I agree. I think.
You go.
Sorry.
I'll go.
Go on then.
Yeah. I think because Conte's there, I think as an Arsenal fan, I'm quite not scared but wary because he's a serial winner, and obviously Kane. Any team that's got Kane and Son, they will get top four. I'm pretty sure they'll get top four. They've got Richarlison now as well. And then, did they have Romero this season as well, again?
They got Romero, Longley as well from Barca.
Yeah, I don't really rate Longley, but Romero, he was good last season when they brought him in. And I think Conte's had a full pre-season with the team and everything. So I think they're a team to watch. Any team with Kane and Son is going to be difficult to beat. But I think they could do something this season. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I agree. But I think their standout signing won't be Richarlison. I think it'll be Basuma for how cheap they got him.
Yeah.
And they need someone like him in midfield. I think he'll be incredible. I wish United got him. I don't know why they didn't for 25 mil. Absolute bargain. Yeah. So and yeah.
I think
there was that video, wasn't there, of Harry Kane and Son all pagged, panting pre-season.
Yeah.
I remember the last time I seen that was that Chelsea.
It's so scary to see that.
Conte
Then they won the title,
We won the league, so I'm a bit worried. I'm not going to lie. After seeing that, I'm like, oh no. After what I've seen as well, after what he's done with Chelsea, it's just it's a bit worrying.
Conte doesn't mess about.
Yeah.
He can turn a team into a machine that just doesn't stop winning.
I rate him so highly as a manager. I think he's a great manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we all like to joke about Spurs not winning anything, but I think this is what could have happened after that Champions League final with Poch, but they didn't quite put in the same level of investment. But now they've got Conte, who is very good at league football, particularly. His defense is always very solid, and he's got so many attackers up front, like Lucas Moura, Kulusevski, Son, Richarlison, Kane, Bergwijn. I must have missed someone out, but they've got so many up top. Perisic coming in as well, who's got a lot of experience, particularly in the Champions League.
Yeah.
I would back them to, go far in one of the cups. Maybe even in Europe. I know Conte's not too great in Europe, but I think this is probably their best chance in a long, long time of getting some kind of silverware.
I think this season, especially Harry Kane, he should be breaking records this year.
Yeah. I think
He's
that
had the year under Conte now, and especially what Costa did it under him for Chelsea. I think.
Lukaku as well at Inter.
Yeah.
Thing with
Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that.
the thing
We'll
with
get onto that.
with Kane though, if he just gets an injury, every season he gets an injury. So if he just gets one injury, puts him out 2-3 months, that'll set them back. That's why I don't think they'll do anything special.
Yeah.
I still think they're the best of the rest though. After Liverpool and City, I think they're the best. I think they're just better than Arsenal because of Kane and Son. But yeah, definitely the best of the rest.
I think it's important as well to think about how the World Cup could play into this season. Plus, there's 5 subs now, like for every game. So for the teams with these bigger squads, maybe Harry Kane can get a bit more rest. He might not get injured as often. So that could be something that plays into their favour this season. But let's move over to the other side of North London. Jimmy, you are the Arsenal fan here, so we'll start with you. How are you feeling going into this? Is it Arteta's third season?
Yeah, his third season. I think we'll be fine. I think we'll get top 4. I think Jesus and Zinchenko are very, very good signings. Not just for squad depth, but also I think Jesus, he scored about 6 goals, I think, with a couple assists in pre-season, so he's been on fire. And I think though this is the season where Saka and Martinelli need to put up those numbers now, all across all of Europe, the young players. I think they're in there, the top 10 young players across Europe. But I think this is the season where they need to start pushing for at least 10-15 goals each with assists and stuff. And I think with Gabriel Jesus, I think that link and play we've seen in pre-season is it could be scary for a lot of teams. And I think William Saliba, who we signed a couple of years ago, but he's been out on loan, Saint Etienne and then Marseille, but he's earned up a France call-up as well. I think he's going to be a new signing for us. He's been very solid in pre-season. Obviously it's pre-season, so you can't judge too much, but I think the squad is much more together than it's ever been. Zinchenko, I think, is a quality signing as well, I think, because obviously left back, Tierney, injury issues and everything, so he can play left back, but he's also a good midfielder as well. He plays there for Ukraine, and I would like to see him more in that midfield role rather than Xhaka, because I still think he shouldn't be used as a starter, but we'll see what happens. But I think top 4, we should be able to get top 4.
Yeah, I mean, last season when I was making my picks, I realised Arsenal didn't have any European football, so I thought they might have a chance. I didn't pick them, but I thought they'd be, quite exciting to watch, and we saw glimpses of that. And I feel like most Arsenal fans would feel that they probably should have got it in the end. It kind of just faded away at the end of the season. But it'll be interesting to see. I think Tielemans is coming in as well, maybe. So
maybe, yeah. I think also because this group of players have now been together for 2-3 years. They're buying into Arteta's philosophy, if you want to call it, or way of style of play. So they know what they need to do. They know what's expected of them. And I think Arteta he's got something there. He's got something there that he can work with. And I think now he's got the players that are buying into his system. He's got Zinchenko, Gabriel Jesus. If we get someone like Tielemans, I think that'll be a very good signing to boost that midfield. I think defence is looking pretty solid as well. I'd like to see maybe another right back if Bellerin leaves, because I'm not too sure Maitland-Niles playing there, and because Tomiyasu was injured for quite a bit last season, which kind of derailed our top 4 hopes. So I'd like to see maybe another right back or so, but all in all, I think it's a very good squad.
All right. What are you guys thinking?
I think following on from that, I think with everyone's obviously it's the first proper pre-season for a while, and I think everyone's taking it quite seriously, especially after that 4-0 defeat that we had against Arsenal. So I think, just taking it with a pinch of salt. I mean, obviously we'll touch on Chelsea later, but I think, to be fair, there's potential there for Arsenal. and I can see that. And it's a good group of players, young group of players. I think maybe not this season, but maybe the next few seasons could be a problem. But I still think London will always be below for now.
I think Arsenal. I think I agree with. Is it Jimmy? Yeah, I agree with Jimmy. He said Martinelli and Saka, they really need to kick on for them to have a really good season. Arsenal right now remind me of United a few years ago when Martial and Rashford were like 23, 24, and we really needed them to kick on one season because Lukaku had left. We'd signed Maguire, and they had a pretty average season. We still got top four, but it just reminds me of Arsenal. You know, average manager.
Ollie is Arteta is levels above Ollie, right? We have a manager that actually has a vision. Ollie was just like, he was just vibes. Like,
I don't agree with that.
No, there was no style of play, nothing. Arteta
there was no style of play, that's true, but Arteta's style,
we have a blueprint at least.
Yeah, I agree, but Arteta's style, it's not consistent enough. You don't see it. You've not played consistently that style for a whole season yet, and you've had him for a pretty long time. So, you know, Arsenal could just drop off. Yeah, Arsenal's a hard one. I think their signings are good. But Zinchenko, you know, that's just a City reject. Same with Gabriel Jesus, City reject. They're good players.
Well, you call them rejects, but they've also got like 4 league titles to the name as well, so they're bringing a lot.
Sitting on the bench.
No, I mean they have played their part, I'd say.
Yeah,
they're good players.
Especially in the last game of the season, Zinchenko was on it against Villa. So
did he cry?
They're good players, but I would, if I was an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't be so excited to be signing, you know, squad players from another Premier League team, whether that be City or whoever. But I think Jesus in particular, he's actually a really good signing. He's perfect for the Arteta style. He'll probably score a lot of goals, but again, has he scored a lot of goals yet in a season? I don't think so. I don't know. It's not. People are getting. It's just classic Arsenal fans getting too excited too early. Just settle down a bit, see how it goes. I think.
No, but I think top four is
taking pre-season too literally.
Yeah. No, but I think top four, we should be aiming for top four. I'm not saying we're going to win the title, and I don't think we'll get third, or maybe third, but we won't break anywhere near the top two, which I think will be City and Liverpool. But I think we should be aiming for top four at least, because
every team,
like you said, it's been a couple of years now, and that's where we should be.
Yeah, every team in the top 6 should be aiming for top 4. Like, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think a lot of people look at pre-season and just look at the signings, and that's all they base their opinions on. But, you know, looking at, you know, bits and pieces from the past few seasons, to, you know, kind of forecast what you might see is a big part of it as well. And I think the Ollie and Arteta thing, Ollie is more of a manager, whereas Arteta's more of a coach. And I think that's more important, like, on the pitch. That's where it really makes a difference. But yeah, I think this season is like the real big test now of what Arteta and Arsenal are made of, because I'd say it's 3 seasons now. Apart from the big 2, it is a bit of a free-for-all, so there's no reason why they shouldn't be there. And, you know, you look at Chelsea, you look at United, they're going through so much change right now. There's so much going on. I'd say it'd be a bit of a failure for Arsenal not to make it.
I think it'll definitely be a failure if they don't make top 4.
Did Odegaard get the captaincy? I think I've seen that on Twitter.
I think Odegaard's going to have a good season.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a very good season this season, because he showed good performance levels last season as well. I think he's going to kick on this season as well.
Okay, let's move on to another London team. Why not get them all done? Fairs, I'm looking at you. New owner.
Yeah.
A lot of big names have left. A couple of big names have come in as well, though. I really don't know what to make of Chelsea.
I think the transfers have been the players that we brought in: Koulibaly, Sterling, obviously seasoned pros. Know how to get results.
Wesley Fofana coming in.
Hopefully, yeah. There's
unless Barca take
Cucurella.
One thing I will say: Mourinho would never ever let this happen. I'm telling you. Marina would never let this happen. This disrespect.
Is it Todd? Is that Todd guy in charge of
Todd
everything?
Boehly's just taken over the whole thing. So they've got rid of Bruce Becker, Czech, Marina, but they've got rid of the board, and Todd's just trying to do it on his own. And I feel like, obviously, fair enough if he can do it, but I think it's a football club. It's not a baseball team that he's used to.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said, Marina would never ever let this happen. You look at the Havertz deal, the Werner deal, Ziyech, all of that them signing under Lampard happened like that. There was no messing around, no sort of, oh, Barca are interested, they might hijack this deal, this team's interested, they might hijack this deal. It just sort of happened. And I think this season now, obviously, with the change, I feel like teams became a bit of a laughingstock in this transfer market. Obviously, with Sterling, Koulibaly, apart from them, I think with the Rafinha debacle, Dembele, Koundé, yeah, it's just been a bit mad.
Yeah, Barca have done yous this transfer window.
Yeah,
They've
literally,
played yous.
No
I don't
one
get
knows
how.
how.
I don't
but-
get how, yeah. Somehow, but I don't know, but I feel like it's a big season for Havertz. I think he's had his 2 seasons now. Hopefully, obviously he had COVID really bad, hence why he didn't, obviously he was out for a while and then still had the after effects of COVID. So obviously we get that. But I think now, had a full pre-season, and I feel like now this is Havertz's year. Obviously there's no Lukaku now. There's no big number 9 there to compete with him. He's the main man now, and he's shown it. He's shown glimpses of his class and what he can do. And I think with that Tuchel system, with that front 3, and having Mason in that number 10 with him, I think it's just, and obviously Sterling on the other side as well. I think that's our best front 3. So having Havertz as obviously that dropping false number 9, and then Mason and Sterling on either side, I think that's our best front 3.
I look at Chelsea, and I think this was the case last year. And I just think, where do the goals come from? Like, who's scoring the 25 goals a season? It could be Sterling, but I feel like he was just very well suited to how City played. I don't know if it will be the same way at Chelsea.
I agree with it. I agree. I think again it's a big season for Mount as well. Obviously, the numbers were there. We'll get onto the young player of the year when we get there. But yeah, it's a big season. I think, to be fair, it's a big season for all the young players. I think obviously with Werner on the verge of leaving, I don't know whether that's a good thing or not. I did want to keep him just to see how he kicked on, because there was glimpses again of just what he can do, the goals he could score. But I think there's a bit of unsettled. He's a bit unsettled. I think there's a lot of noise around Werner, especially obviously with the chances that he misses and stuff. So yeah, I think there's a lot on Sterling, I believe.
I think though your defense is going to be a bit shaken up, because obviously Koulibaly, he's amazing. I think he's a great signing. But who do you play alongside Koulibaly? Because Thiago's getting on a bit as well.
Thiago Silva, listen.
Losing
Thiago
Rudiger.
Silva.
He's brilliant. I rate him highly, but I mean, how old is he? Like 37 or something now?
Well, what do you mean? Ronaldo's 37? Oh yeah, he's the
Oh, yeah,
goal.
yeah.
Oh, what?
When it's Thiago Silva, what?
No.
He doesn't even get mentioned in the.
No,
Hold on. You can't compare Thiago Silva to Ronaldo.
No, I fully.
No, I'm
Like,
saying about
what
the
are you
age thing.
talking
I'm saying
about?
about the age thing.
No, I think Thiago is a brilliant player and he still can play, but you can't expect him to play every day of the week, every match.
But I think that's where Fofana comes in. I feel like with that extra centre back plus Cucurella as well, he can play left wing back, he can play left centre back as he's done for Brighton. I think them two would be perfect. I think Koundé was a big miss for us.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
he would have slotted in for Azpilicueta quite well. Obviously Azpilicueta is now getting on a bit. He has got that same energy, the same pace that he once had.
Yeah.
I think Koundé would have been that perfect signing for us, where he could have slotted in right centre back, but then he also could have played in a back four, playing right back as he's done for France, and also even at a push right wing back if we needed a bit of solidity, playing Reece James at right centre back as well. And I think, to be fair, even the midfield's a bit. We definitely need a midfielder. I think Frankie de Jong's on the cards. Maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, if you get him after this transfer
just-
saga, if you get him.
Yeah, I was
He
saying
doesn't
to
want United, so
I was saying to Ali, Frankie de Jong's the new Wesley Sneijder for United.
I can't believe like United would chase him for this long without him wanting to go to United. I think the deferred wages is sort of like
Big, yeah.
yeah.
But I think for Chelsea's midfield especially, my last point, Conor Gallagher is going to have a big part to play. Obviously with that 5 substitutions, as you said, I feel like even if we play a back 4 and a 3, have Jorginho in that register position, having them 2 number 8, I think Conor Gallagher will thrive. Whether we're And I think it's difficult to fit Mount into there, because I do like him in the number 10 when we play the three sort of narrow up top. So where it's how he changes the system to fit the players. I think I'm hopeful, but at the same time I am quite worried just to see how it'll work.
You'll get top 4 though. Do you think you'll get top 4?
Yeah, too, right?
Yeah. So
100%.
Spurs are missing out then.
I don't know. Because
Was it Spurs are missing out?
Spurs and United
Chelsea,
are going to miss out.
I don't
Chelsea
know.
are always,
It could go either way.
competitive.
We'll always get there. I think.
You have too many good players not to.
Yeah, there's
that's the
that as
thing.
well.
And you've got loads of experience, so I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, I
honestly.
think so.
Is
Yeah,
it
it's
too
like-
much experience? A lot of them are over, 30, 31 now. They're getting on a bit.
Who is
Yeah,
your
but they've also got
Just-
good young players as well to counter that, I guess, like Havertz, Mount. Conor Gallagher's going to come in. Conor Gallagher's a brilliant player. He played so well last season
Yeah.
for Palace. Obviously, Reece James, hopefully stays fit. I think he's arguably one of the best right backs in the world. You've got
One of,
Koulibaly.
yeah, one of.
One of.
the best. The best.
You got Koulibaly once the lights on.
Yeah. What about that Levi Colwill? Is he
There's a lot
leaving?
of talk. There's a lot of talks of him being included within that Brighton deal with Cucurella. I want to keep him because he's got a lot of potential. The season he had last
Yeah.
year was ridiculous. He was a beast. I do want to keep him, but obviously whether Tuchel agrees with me.
Chelsea are horrible at promoting their youth and playing them properly and stuff. But recently they've improved with Mount and James, but obviously in the past they just don't know when to put the youth
Do you
back into
think-
the first team.
Do you not think you'll sign a striker then before the end of the window, like proper number 9?
No. Well, hopefully
Yeah,
we
'cause
keep
if-
Roja. He's
If
the one I want to
Werner
keep.
goes, Lukaku's gone. Surely you got to get another attacker in.
Armando Broja's coming back in though.
Tammy?
So whether he,
At a big
Nah,
club,
he-
like that's a big risk.
Nah. To be fair, I remember when the Tammy deal happened, I tweeted saying, "Oh, I can't wait in 4 years' time to buy him back for 100 million."
Yeah.
Are you even linked to
not
any
the
strikers
videos.
right now?
No, nothing. No strikers at all. I think the latest ones are Cucurella and Fofana. They're the two
De Jong.
big targets at the moment.
De Jong as well.
Yeah, and De Jong.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Speaking of
that's,
De Jong, talk
Oh,
about United.
Let's go.
God,
Eric
shall I
Ten
start?
Hag, welcome to Manchester United.
Eric
How's it
Ten
going?
Hag.
Big
So-
leagues.
I'll start with United. I might as well. I'm not looking forward to this season at all. I think this season, I think Chelsea looking for a striker. They might as well grab Ronaldo since he wants to leave. He'd be perfect for them one season. If we lose Ronaldo, oh my God, we'll be finished. And with the players that we've
it's
signed,
too late to it's too late to get someone in to replace that presence, isn't it?
yeah, he's irreplaceable anyway. As it is, it's Ronaldo. But the players that we've signed, it's just not enough. Malacia, young left back, that's sort of like an accessory signing when it comes to a transfer window. That's just standard, one of them that you just overlook. And then Ericsson on a free. He's a really good player. He's a good signing, but again, who's he to replace? Because we've lost Matic, Pogba in midfield. We need a replacement for them too urgently. Because I can't have another season of watching Fred and McTominay. And then Lisandro Martinez, he's a promising player, but it actually is like scary. How can a 5'9" centre back play in the Premier League?
I think it'd be better if you guys were playing a back three or something. But if he's alongside Maguire, it'll be interesting to see that.
I don't even know who our back four will be this season. Obviously,
You got Varane as well.
yeah, I think Varane has to play. Like, you can't be playing Maguire over Varane. That is a joke. He's got to
But he has to
but-
play Maguire, doesn't he?
He's still
He's
the
the
captain,
captain.
isn't he?
Yeah.
Exactly, so it's confusing. I think eventually it will
Maguire
be.
in midfield.
I think eventually it will be Martinez and Varane. But to start the season, he's going to go Maguire and Lindelof because they've played throughout pre-season.
What system does he play? 4-3-3.
4-2-3-1. But like, there's actually a style of play this season. It's not like watching Ollie or Ralph Ragnick. There's actually a style of play. He presses. It's modern
PE
football.
teacher vibes.
Yeah.
Nah,
you need
none of that. None of that.
your squad is so like thin. I think like there's
Yeah.
no. I think United need a whole they need another right back. They need 2 midfielders. They need a couple of wingers.
They
need a
sold
striker.
so many. They got They lost.
Yeah.
So
I
many
mean, I guess
people
you
this
had to
year.
get rid of all that deadwood.
The other day,
did.
But
Yeah.
But then
But
the
there's-
recruitment's been awful to bring
Yeah.
players back in.
The-
and you're not even. And then the young deal is just a joke. Like,
it's been
that's just
13 weeks.
So jokes.
That saga has lasted 13 weeks.
I don't think he wants to come United.
That's a joke. I don't believe that
It's
because
so weird.
how would we be linked with him for this long if he doesn't want to come? I just think it's the deferred wages, but we'll see what happens with that. The other day, Sancho got ill for a pre-season game, and the player to replace him was Ilanga.
I think
Like, if
Langer's
that
pretty
happens,
good, though.
if that
He's pretty
happens,
decent.
no, he is shit. Trust me. You just need to watch him carefully. He's awful. He's like Dan James. That's who he reminds me of.
Sancho as well. He needs to
No
kick off, 'cause
football brain. No football brain at all.
Yeah.
He's just.
I think
Elango's
Sancho is
on
very
FaceTime
overrated
with-
as well.
Sancho.
Yeah, I think
I think
he's been overhyped so much. Like he's good at Dortmund, and he's a good player, skillful player, but he needs to step it up a lot this season.
I think
if he
he'll
wants to be
kick on
considered.
this season. I think he's been sick in pre-season.
I want him to prove me wrong, but I don't think
Yeah.
he's as good as everyone has made him out
Yeah,
to be.
being English as well, I want him to. Obviously, I hate United anyway. That's just a fact.
Yeah,
But, like, Sancho being English, I want him to just do something. Do you know
yeah.
what I mean?
I think he'll
Yeah, I
kick on.
think Sancho and Grealish, they had meh seasons in their first season, but with big signings, I think it's important to always give them 1 year to settle in.
Yeah,
before,
definitely.
making any harsh.
What does Rashford
but-
do? Is he a confirmed starter?
Yeah, at least
Or
for the
is
first
he-
few weeks. Yeah, he is
I
a
think
confirmed
Rashford's
star.
finished.
He hasn't even
You think-
looked
I
at.
think
He's just.
He hasn't looked.
I think he needs
Theo
what this
Walcott.
season. I think thing is though, when he first started, Rashford was killing everyone. So it's not like
Yeah.
he doesn't have the ability. He's got something there. Like I remember when he first came, he was banging hat tricks against Arsenal, scoring against City, and that. Like he's a good player. I think obviously injuries and the confidence is a bit shot.
Yeah, he's
But
a confidence
if Ten Hag
player.
gets the best out of him, I think he could still be a very, very dangerous player. But he needs to just stay focused. I think that's United players don't stay focused. I think you've got too many like Pogba in the past, Lingard, like all these guys. They just don't stay focused. I think if they had
Yeah,
the
but-
proper work ethic, and I think the new manager is going to bring that in. And
Yeah.
he's going to
He's
not
the
take
first
anything.
manager in ages, probably since Fergie, I reckon, or maybe Moyes, but I don't know what he was really like. But since Fergie, really, they haven't really had a guy who's been in control of the dressing room. Ten
Yeah.
Hag, you see it on social media, he's very on top of it. And
Yeah.
I know United fans were going crazy for even the smallest things that you were saying, which are basics to expect on the training ground. But it is good to see from that perspective.
Yeah.
But that's top four talk over for now, I guess. We will be back in a second to talk about the title race and give our official standings, I suppose, and a few other things. Okay, so we're back, and now we're here to talk about the interesting teams. So we'll start with Liverpool. It's no secret, I'm a Liverpool fan, so I guess I'll go first.
You're a Liverpool fan. No, you never mentioned it.
No, I'm neutral. The host has to be neutral. But no, it's. I think a lot of people have just kind of got tired of Liverpool getting so close, and it's just kind of become an expectation that City are eventually going to just, run away with the league. But I do think that it's really easy to forget that Liverpool was so close to winning everything. Like Real Madrid, that game could have gone either way, and 10 minutes more of Stevie G's Aston Villa, that's always going to hurt. And we've also lost Sadio Mane, so I think that's where the big question mark is for us this season. How quickly can Darwin Núñez fit in, or how quickly can the team adjust to him? Because that's something I've noticed in pre-season. The players are playing a lot more through balls in behind because Núñez is rapid and he's always looking for the space. But Klopp actually said, the midfielders are actually doing it a bit too much. They should still kind of stick to the game they've been playing for the last 4 or 5 years. But I don't think it should be too much of a problem because the core of the squad is still there, and there's a lot of world-class players in there who can kind of adapt their game a little bit to this new player. Plus, I don't even think Núñez is gonna be starting the season necessarily as the out-and-out option up front. It could be Firmino. Jota's injured. I think it would have been him, but Jota's missed all pre-season. So I think it'll be Firmino about 60 minutes, Núñez half an hour for the first 3 or 4 games, and yeah, it will take a bit of time for Núñez to kind of settle into the starting 11, but I don't think it's as big an issue as people are saying it will be.
Yeah, there was that whole missing pre-season when everyone sort of jumped on. And obviously, they did the same with Haaland as well in the Community Shield. So, like I said before, take pre-season with a pinch of salt. Just pre-season, it's what it is. It's just fitness, getting miles with the legs. I think, Liverpool, as much as it pains me to say it, they have been very good the last few seasons. Obviously, competing with City. I think any team that surpasses them, it's just a surprise, really. It's like, they just come out of nowhere. So, I think with Liverpool, one big injury, and I think Ali mentioned this to me yesterday, one big injury and they are finished.
But which area of the pitch are you talking? I think we've got pretty good depth now.
If Salah or Van Dijk get injured, Liverpool, they'll still be good, but they won't catch City. If Salah or Van Dijk get a big injury.
Salah, I agree with, because I think he's the best player in the league. But Van Dijk, that was just a freak, because all of our centre backs were literally out that season. Plus, we've got Konate now, and I've bought into him big time. Like, he's just an absolute beast. We saw it in the Champions League final, and I think he's, in a few years when Van Dijk's getting on a bit, he'll be the man at the back.
He didn't start off great, did he, Konate, and then he sort of just came into his own.
Yeah, I mean, it was last season was the first season when Matip didn't get injured, which was a big surprise.
I think
so. It was pretty tough for Konate to get into the team, but I'd say he's definitely at home now.
I think Van Dijk makes Konate look good. Well, Konate's good as it is, but I think Van Dijk makes him look significantly better than he is. I mean, I remember when United played RB Leipzig a couple of seasons ago in the Champions League, Rashford smashed a hat-trick against Konate and Ken Cole, whatever he's called, So I think he's good, but it's Van Dijk for me. He levels everyone that plays next to Van Dijk. They all look really good. Gomez, Matip, Konate.
Yeah, that's definitely a point. But I think Konate was probably a teenager back then, and he's had a year training with all these world-class players now. He's definitely a different player to back then.
I think Liverpool could win the title this season. I honestly think they could. I think they have a better chance than City. I think.
Oh, really?
I think it's very 50-50, but I don't think the gap is as much like in the last couple of seasons. Obviously,
it was literally 1 point.
Yeah, 1 point, and I think sometimes stuff like this, Klopp's gonna have that in the back of his mind. Like they were on the verge of a quadruple. They ended up with 2 cups, and the Premier League and the Champions League are the big ones as well. But I think this season Salah's gonna be ready to go as well. I think he's gonna be sick.
He's got his bag.
Yeah, he's got his bag. He wants his revenge, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I think Núñez as well. I think he'll be good signing. Like he'll prove good as well. And like you said, they've got a lot of more squad depth than they have done in the past. Defense as well. Even if Van Dijk doesn't play, you've got Matip. You've got Gomez still playing. Like he's
just signed a new contract.
Yeah, and obviously I think Trent's the big one. If Trent and Robbo, if one of them get injured, then it's a bit.
I think Trent, because we've got Calvin Ramsey but he's been injured all pre-season.
And then you've got good young players as well. Harvey Elliott, Carvalho as well. So I think if you compare their squad to City, I think there's very, very little in it. Like if you pound for pound each player.
I think it's just the midfield, which
Yeah.
And Pep likes all his players to pretty much be a midfielder, and
Yeah.
they've got the best midfield probably in the world.
I feel like with
Liverpool,
City, there's it all comes down to Haaland, whether he fires.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
he
think he
will,
will,
he
though.
will.
I think he will. I think
think
like
yeah,
he
'cause-
will. He can't not. He's been bagging hat tricks in the Champions League for fun.
you know when they you go 3-0 up against a Bournemouth or something, and then in the last 20 minutes they score another 5 goals. That'll be when Haaland gets his numbers up.
Yeah.
He'll
And
definitely score
especially your
goals.
first competitive game against Van Dijk, it doesn't get much harder than that as well. So
Plus,
I think,
City have had they've had a shorter pre-season than Liverpool. Like they played 2 games before that, whereas Liverpool have been in for about a month now. So yeah, you can't really judge off that. But I knew when Haaland missed.
I was gonna say who's the front three gonna be then? Like the full the set front three.
For Liverpool,
Yeah.
Salah, Diaz is going to replace
Diaz as well.
Mane. And then if they were all fit, I think Jota would still be starting up front.
Mm-hmm.
But the plan would be to get Núñez in as the number 1 option.
Yeah.
But we'll probably start with Firmino first game.
And what about the midfield? Because
Midfield's a big one because
that's the one, isn't it?
yeah, that's the one where people are always like, oh, you should have got Bellingham. This is what's let you down over the past few years. Fabinho, world class. Thiago, I'm probably his biggest fan, and Henderson I think he's one of the best captains in the world.
The amount of propaganda you sent me about Thiago is a joke.
But yeah, Henderson's the one because he's not world class, but he's a very good player, and just having him on the pitch just raises everyone's performance. But we do need to start thinking about replacing him, and maybe Naby Keita's the option, but he's had a mixed time at Liverpool as well. He's very talented, but he's always getting ill or injured or whatever. Harvey Elliott could be the one. He had a lot of starts at the start of last season until he got injured. He looked sharp, and he's looked good in pre-season again, so he could be the one that takes that 3rd spot in midfield. But yeah, I think it's probably going to be Henderson for now. So yeah, we touched on City a little bit, but yeah. I mean, Jimmy thinks we're winning the league.
I think
I
it's
don't have the
very
same.
50-50, but I don't know, something inside me just says Liverpool could edge it.
I think it's just reliant on Haaland. I think with the system that City play, the fluid football, I
Yeah.
don't know. I feel like Haaland's just like a block in like a circle goal. You know what I mean? Like with the pressing
Yeah, I know what you mean.
that Guardiola wants to play, the fluid football, they're going to the byline. He'll probably be good for that. But then who's going to be running behind now that Sterling's not there?
Yeah,
Sterling was
Grealish
very
hasn't got
good
the
at-
pace.
Yeah, Sterling was very
They
good
got
at getting past that.
Foden could play through the middle. They got Alvarez as well, who he
Nah,
scored
but I
against
mean-
Liverpool.
They won the
But I
league
mean, it's,
without Sterling last season, essentially. Sterling rarely
Yeah.
played last season. They won it without. I just massively questioned not to sound like a jealous United fan, but the Haaland signing for me. He's not a Guardiola player at all. He's not got the link-up ability. He's not... I don't know if he's even got the pressing ability to press every single game of the season for 90 minutes. I don't know if he's got that in him. And
He will just be that guy to finish a move off.
exactly, he's just there to score the tap-ins, really, that, someone like Sterling would have missed. You know what I mean? But
It's
But I
Sterling
think-
scoring everything.
I think
Sterling's
Haaland's
having a blind of a season this year, telling you.
I think Haaland's going to be key in those Champions League games, though. Because,
Yeah.
against
Yeah,
Madrid.
Yeah,
That's a
the
tough
ones
one.
when Sterling's
know-
missing in the last minute. Yeah.
Yeah, those special moments where someone just needs to rise to the occasion. I think he's going to be one of those.
Yeah,
Because
I can
they can win the league.
Go on.
I was saying they can win the league without Haaland as well. Like, that's not an issue, I think, for City.
Yeah. But I think my mind just goes back to that PSG performance where he rattled the net.
Yeah,
That
well,
goal
that was a
an
brilliant goal.
absolute joke.
screamer.
And
He's
I
a
feel
beast.
like I feel like Champions League, I think he'll be a big one. And I think it's that one trophy that's eluded City quite a bit.
Yeah.
They've always
I
got
think that's
there,
why he's
there,
been brought in.
thereabouts. Yeah, obviously in that final, just to drop that in there. But yeah, I feel like Champions League will be a big one.
That
What are we thinking about Calvin Phillips? Obviously, he looks like he's the
Does he even start?
Fernandinho replacement.
Does
Yeah,
he?
but
Does he even
he doesn't
start?
start now because Rodri's there, isn't he?
Rodri's there,
It's a lot of money then, isn't it, for a bench player? But I guess it's
No problem for
I think
them.
with that,
Get
it's a 5 subs now, isn't it? So you got
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plus,
true.
he's,
Do you know-
I think he's a very good player, but he's just injuries. His last season, obviously, plagued with injuries.
I think that Julian Alvarez is a really good signing. He's a really good player. He's
gone
rapid.
under the radar.
He's that running behind that you run about. Like he could definitely do that. He looks more like a striker that Guardiola would classically play with, to be honest, than Haaland.
like that Aguero figure, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't have sold Sterling and Jesus if Alvarez didn't have some kind of role to play in his plans.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting to see. But let's wrap up the Big Six talk there. But before that, let's just make sure who we're going with in the title race and top 4. Who wants to go first?
I need to write this down.
Oh, this is difficult.
So I've got mine. So Ali, go on then. Go on, lead the way.
Do you know what? I'm gonna make a last minute change because if City win it again, it'll be three in a row, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And only
yeah.
Fergie's done that, so I'm not giving it City. Even though it's actually so shit. Okay, Liverpool first for me. Then I'll go City. Then I'll put Spurs third, Chelsea fourth. Arsenal and United miss out top 4.
I'm the same, but I've gone City to win the league. Liverpool, to be fair, it's the same top 4 as last season. City, Liverpool, Chelsea third, Tottenham fourth. Obviously, I got back Chelsea, even though Tottenham do worry me a bit with who they've signed, how they've gone about the pre-season. Obviously, Conte. I've got back Chelsea.
You know what? We
Yeah,
must
Chelsea,
put the
yeah.
caveat though that the transfer window still hasn't ended. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
United signed De Jong, I'd probably put him in the top 4. But as things stand, I don't think they're in the top 4.
Yeah, I've gone with Liverpool to win. City, Chelsea, Arsenal, top 4. And then Spurs and United missing out.
No chance Spurs miss out.
No, I
What
think
you said?
I think
Big
Chelsea
shout.
Chelsea will. I think Arsenal. The only problem is a Europa League. Like that's gonna be like such a pain in the backside, like Thursday nights. But I think they'll get top 4. So and Chelsea, I think, are better than Spurs. So Spurs have to miss out, and United as well.
Okay.
United nowhere near.
I'm going to go with City to win the league.
That shocked me, that, to be fair. I thought you were saying Liverpool.
I haven't said City for about 3 years, so maybe a bit of reverse psychology going on there.
Tactical
But-
jinx.
Yeah, but no, I don't see where they've got weaker, and I just think they're more suited to league football, even though the gap's only been 1 point on 2 occasions. I just think they're so much better at that and just squeezing points out of games, whereas Liverpool are better at European and knockout games and all of that. But it will be close again. So I've gone Liverpool second, Spurs in third. Although I kind of want Arsenal to make it because it's they're a classic Champions League club and it's been so long. But I can't see both North London clubs making it because one of them tends to mess up at the end of the season. So I think it'll be Arsenal this time again. And Chelsea, I've gone with them at fourth because I don't think United can make it. So yeah, Chelsea just got a better squad and the manager's been there for a while. But they won't have the greatest of seasons, but they'll make top 4. Okay, so let's talk about relegation. I don't know how much you guys have thought about this bit, but I had a quick scan of what teams have been up to, and a lot of people have been saying the 3 promoted teams are going to be the 3 teams that go down. That barely ever happens, and I don't think that's going to happen either. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I think Forest should be fine. They look decent. With Lingard as well, I think they might have a chance to stay up. It's Fulham. I don't know. Fulham always is it Fulham that got promoted this season as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like a yo-yo club as well. It's them and Norwich that always just swap places. And then Bournemouth, I don't know. I'm just used to seeing Bournemouth from like when Eddie Howe was there, and they used to be pretty good. So I'm not sure. I'll have to see how they play first. But I think it's going to be tight for them because the teams that stayed up, Leeds, I think they'll be better this year, I think, than last season. So I don't know. It's actually quite tough to decide.
My bottom three, I've gone for. Shall I say who I've gone for the relegation? I'm going for
go for
I'm
it.
going for Brentford, Forest, and Bournemouth. Bournemouth are just dead. Like I had a look at their squad. It's like if they stay up, it'd be incredible. Who's their manager? Is it Scott Parker? I can't remember.
Scott Parker, yeah.
Yeah, he's not Eddie Howe. What Eddie Howe was
Yeah.
able to do with Bournemouth was just incredible. I don't think Scott
But
Parker
look at what
could
he's
keep them
doing. Look at what Eddie Howe's doing in Newcastle now.
Yeah.
He's doing a good job at Newcastle, Eddie Howe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
Eddie Howe's a very good manager.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think
And then-
Bournemouth had a much better squad when they got last time they were in the
Yeah,
Premier
yeah,
League
exactly.
now.
So
Josh King, Callum
Yeah.
Wilson.
It's even
I
harder.
think
for
they've
them to
just
stay
got
up.
like 2 free signings now, and I think they got one player who they paid for, but it's a very championship squad.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good, bruv. It's
Yeah.
not looking good.
I put them dead last. Then Forest, I know they've signed Lingard. They've also got Dean Henderson playing in goal, but I don't think Lingard's enough. Like he's just.
Nah.
I don't think he
He
can
can't
carry
be your
a
main
team.
man.
Yeah, he can't carry a team really. And then I was gonna say Brighton instead of Brentford, but Graham Potter's just a sick manager again.
Yeah.
They have lost Basuma, which was one. That's why I was thinking Brighton, but they always overachieve. And I was thinking surely this season.
They're a very well-run club, I think, Brighton. So
Yeah.
you back them to kind of deal with that.
Exactly, yeah. So I went with Brentford, just because I thought they were, they don't look like a Premier League quality team, except for Ivan Toney, who's a
Second
class
season.
player. Yeah, second season syndrome. Yeah, I think they'll go down. Yeah.
I think for me, it's a bit rogue. I feel like Brentford are going to be fine. I feel like Leeds are just. I think Rafinha's going to be a big miss.
Oh, yeah.
They've spent like 100 million, they've spent a lot of money.
They spent a lot of money, but I feel like they didn't improve a lot even when the new manager came in. I think there wasn't much of a performance. Still one of them performance peaks where the new manager boost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
but he
wasn't one of
came in
them.
when they had like 13 players, remember? And it's
Yeah.
hard to
And there
do
was
anything
that,
without a proper
And they've lost
pre-season.
Calvin Phillips as well. Calvin Phillips and Rafinha.
Yeah, but I feel like Leeds are going to go down. I think Fulham as well, losing Carvalho was a big miss. Andreas Pereira come in.
Nah, I ain't gonna do anything.
They
Pre-season
signed
Pele.
They signed that Paulinho, who plays, for the Portugal team.
Oh yeah, midfielder.
He's actually really good.
Paulinho.
I was surprised that they got him.
Yeah, and then Bournemouth. Bournemouth are going down.
Bournemouth, enough said.
Yeah.
Who's going down for you, Jimmy?
Yeah, so Bournemouth, Fulham. To be honest, what Fez said about Leeds kind of makes me think, that they might go down as well. Because I think Rafinha and Calvin Phillips is a huge miss for them as well. So I'll probably go Leeds actually. Bournemouth, Fulham, Leeds.
Okay. I'm quite surprised 2 people said Leeds. I think Jesse Marsch is actually a very good manager. We saw him with Salzburg in the Champions League as well. He's brought in 2 or 3 players from Salzburg and I think one of the other Red Bull clubs. He's lost a couple of big names, but pre-season Leeds actually had a very good squad anyway. They were just all out injured. Bamford, if he can stay fit, will be very important. So I think writing off Leeds like that is a bit.
I don't know. I think I'm a bit sceptical because Jesse Marsh is American.
I think even if Jesse Marsh gets sacked, I think Leeds still stay up. I think they've got the players, over other teams. I think they've got the players.
I think it's going to be tight though this season. It's going to be very, very tight.
I think the top of the table is like sort of, your top 6. They're going to be there about
Yeah.
top 4 even. You can sort of predict quite well. Relegation, even like look at Everton last year, man.
Yeah. There could
They
be
had
another
such a
team like that this season.
good group of players and just.
I mean, Everton could still be down there. They've sold Richarlison. They've got Dwight McNeil.
I mean, they've got one of the best
not
managers in the
enough.
world under Frank Lampard. So,
But yeah, so I've got Bournemouth, Brentford. I think, as Ali was saying, second season syndrome, and they've lost Ericsson as well, who was a big part of them staying up.
Yeah.
And then Southampton is
Oh, yeah,
the third team
Southampton
I've
as
gone
well.
for.
Yeah.
Because
They're the same though. They always seem to stay up. But
I'm just a
Yeah.
bit bored of them. Like,
Do you know
I rate Hassan Hutel. I think he's got a decent playing style, but the squad's just not very good.
they're just
The
there,
only
aren't they?
player I
They're
can
just
name
there.
is James Ward-Prowse, and
Exactly,
you can't just
yeah.
rely on him to score free kicks all season.
But that's what he does.
They-
What he does, and they stay up because of it. His set pieces, his
Yeah.
corners, his free kick goals,
Yeah,
they're vital.
But they've brought in a couple of young lads this season, but I don't think that's enough. Like, you can't just rely on young players to keep you up, along with a set piece merchant. So I think, yeah, Southampton, it's not looking good. It's time to go. Okay, let's talk about overachievers. Who's the team that you think will, surprise everyone else?
And my overachievers, I think, because I said Brighton will stay up, I think they'll overachieve by staying up. I think, especially with the losing Basuma, and they've lost a few other players. It's Cucurella. If they lose Cucurella as well, like, they're losing two huge players, and if they stay up, then they are overachieving for me. And credit to Graham Potter if they do again.
Yeah. Good shout.
Man, Forest. I feel like they're going to be the Brentford of this year.
Yeah. They're very tough to play against. We had them in the FA Cup last year, and they've got a few good players in. Lingard, Nico Williams at right back.
Yeah. Premier League qualities all around the pitch. I feel like, especially, I think Lingard's a very, very good player. As you said, he won't carry them, but I feel like he'll just his professionalism will sort of rub off on others.
Lingard's professionalism.
Not his experience of his Premier League experience. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
I know.
Yeah, true.
I know.
Do they have a striker though? The Forest have a striker, someone that can.
They signed a guy Liverpool used to have. He never played a game for us. Taiwo Awoniyi.
Oh, yeah,
He's Nigerian.
Oh yeah.
He had a good season in Germany.
They've got Jack Cole back as well, Forest. So again, Premier League experience there. So I feel like they'll overachieve. I feel like if they avoid relegation, we win. But I feel like they'll be the Brentford of this year.
Okay.
Yeah, same. I think if they stay up, then that means they'll be overachieving. Because I looked at the squad, they've got a couple of good players here and there, but we'll have to see how they play. But I think if they do stay up, then definitely they'll be overachieving.
They've lost players as well. They lost Jed Spence. Obviously, he was on loan from Middlesbrough.
Yeah, they've had a big, a lot of in and a lot of outs as well. So, Fulham did that a few years ago and it didn't go well. But yeah, hopefully it's not the same for Forest. Who is your overachievers then, Jimmy? Is it Forest as well?
Forest, yeah.
Alright, cool. Mine is, I don't know if it is overachieving, but I'm going to say Crystal Palace to challenge for Europe, probably Conference League. Patrick Vieira, second season. I think I actually said Palace to go down last season. He really surprised me. But yeah, they've just got a lot of ballers, haven't they? Eze, Zaha, Olise, Mateta, Lord Benteke.
Conor Gallagher's a big miss.
Conor Gallagher, yeah.
He's
Massive.
a big miss. Because he was a very integral part of them playing well last season as well.
He was that box to box, he was the energy, he was just...
That's why I don't think
everywhere.
they'll do as well. I think they'll be there, probably there or thereabouts, the same as last season, but I don't think they'll finish higher than they did last season.
They'll be somewhere mid-table.
Yeah, because they were 12th last season. I don't see him getting more than 10th, 11th max, I guess, but not more than that.
Okay, I'll say I think they can break into the top 10 because of my underachievers, who are Leicester. They haven't signed anyone. Brendan Rodgers it's kind of gone stale there. He's had good seasons, but he's kind of tailed off at the end of the season twice now, I think.
Nothing really going on, is
And
there?
Wesley Fofana's going, Tielemans is going, Newcastle want Maddison. I don't think that one's going to happen, but they're losing a lot of big players, and it doesn't look like they're going anywhere. So I think Jamie Vardy will still get his 15 goals a season, but apart from that, there won't be much going on.
I think you mentioned my underachievers. I think, man, they're going to be Newcastle, the underachievers. I feel like with all the hype, wherever the goal's going to come from, if Callum Wilson can't stay fit, obviously Chris Wood, he's
But what is underachieving? What is underachieving for Newcastle?
well,
For Newcastle,
the expectation for Newcastle now, obviously with the signings and stuff, I feel
What
like
signings? You know they've not signed. They've signed Sven Botman this summer. That's their
Botman,
big
Nick
signing.
Paul,
Bruno.
But where does
Bruno
that
from
put them?
from January.
I
Who did
don't
they
Yeah.
get at the back? They signed a centre back, didn't they?
Sven
Botman.
Botman.
Was it just Botman?
Yeah.
Yeah. But look, I think there was when the whole new ownership came in, the results from after that, Newcastle were up there. They were like somewhere 7th or something.
They were very good.
After the new ownership came in, so I feel like the expectation, especially from Newcastle fans, very high, looking for European football. So I feel like they will miss out on it just because of the hype. I feel like they do leak a lot of goals, whether Sven Botman can fill that gap, and obviously Nick Pope can. To be fair, Dubravka's a class keeper, I rate him highly, but he was injured as well. They do concede goals, concede a lot of chances.
I don't know. I'd say top half is good for Newcastle.
I don't think Europe
think
is underachieving for them. I don't. If they get Europe, that's overachieving. You know.
No,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I don't think they will get Euro. So
Yeah,
they'll
but
be more underachievers.
Isn't that just normal?
Yeah, I wouldn't expect them to get Europe.
No, but a lot of people, I'd expect them to get Europe now with
The hype.
with the signings and the hype, yeah.
Yeah, it's just the hype. My underachievers, I think.
United.
No, I think everyone expects United not to do very well this season.
yeah.
I think it's going to be Villa or Everton. If I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Villa. If you actually look at Villa's starting 11, for me, it's better than Leicester's. It's better than West Ham's. They should be getting 8th or 7th. Their starting 11 is, they're a really top side, but I just don't think I back Gerrard as a manager, to be honest. I think he's a bit of a dead manager.
Yeah.
What? No,
I need to be careful what I say about Stevie G as a manager, but I will say he's seen as a very trendy manager, very fashionable.
The aura.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
No,
And
Gerrard.
he had a couple of big results when he came in and stuff. This is his first pre-season as well. Let's not forget.
Yeah.
So maybe things will go better, but yeah, with the squad, as you say, they should be doing. They should be getting into top half easily.
I just want to
anything
emphasise
below
that, like, from their team, my expectations is that they get Europe, and
Yeah.
and I don't think they will. That's why I'll put them as underachievers. I don't think Gerrard will get sacked. I don't think he'll be that bad, but I don't see them being able to get 7th or 8th, and that's why I'll put them.
There's
as
just a lot of
underachievers.
competition for that, 7th spot, isn't there? West
Yeah.
Ham, Leicester, Newcastle, Villa. You got all these teams,
Yeah.
so it is tough.
I think Leicester will underachieve because I think where they want to be, because obviously they've the league title was obviously a 1 in a million, but they won the FA Cup as well, and I think where they want to be as a club, they want to be in the top 6 eventually in it, but I think they're regressing as a club. I don't think they're progress.
Yeah.
I think all the other clubs, like you mentioned Villa and Newcastle, I think they're going in the right direction, but I think
They're being
Leicester-
overtaken, aren't they?
yeah, I think Leicester. Whereas a couple of years ago, they had when they were on fire. I think Brendan Rodgers, when he first came in as well, they were doing well.
FA Cup.
Yeah, I think though, from last season as well, if they lose Maddison, Tielemans, big players, Vardy, I think he's not gonna be as effective as he has been. But I think they'll be the ones that underachieve.
All right, cool. Okay, let's talk about the individual awards then. I'll start off with Young Player of the Year. So last 2 years it's been Phil Foden.
Bollocks.
I don't know if he's too old for that now. I think they changed the rule a year or two
Yeah,
ago.
what is the
You have to
rule? Is it 21 and
You
under?
have to be 21 at the start of the season. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's my Young Player of the Year gone.
Was yours Mount?
Yeah.
Listen,
Obviously.
Mason Mount,
Obviously.
absolutely robbed He was robbed of young player of the year last year.
I thought Saka should have got it last year.
Look, listen,
I'm
Mason
back in
Mount.
Saka this year.
More
Saka
goals,
this
more
year.
assists than Foden. Foden's just a PR merchant. That's all he is. And then he got his mum to batter some security guard just for the. Listen, you know what I mean? Like, it was man, Mason Mount's a star boy. And
It
what's
was,
this
it was
season?
the trim in the Euros as well. The Foden trim in the Euros.
Oh, the white hair.
Yeah,
Yeah, see what I mean? It's all
Gaza.
just publicity. All just publicity.
exactly.
Yeah, but
Nah.
Who's your
I
pick
think,
then?
man, young player of the year now.
Alright, we'll go first then. Ali, who are you going for?
I'm going for Saka because he's 20, isn't he?
Saka.
Yeah, he's 20.
Yeah. So of the eligible players, he's probably had the most Premier League experience, and he keeps improving. He had a really good year last season. He's got a vital role again this season. He's got a Jesus next to him. He's got a decent striker playing with him, better link up. He'll score more. He'll probably assist more. Yeah, back Saka this year. He won't be on penalties, will he? Because he was on penalties last year for a bit, wasn't he?
To be honest, he scored quite a few penalties in pre-season, so
So if he's
Never
on
know.
penalties as well, yeah, then
They might as well keep him on. Yeah.
Yeah.
that'll boost his goals up, and the more his stats boost, the more he's likely to get.
Obviously, stats don't make a difference. Listen, stats clearly don't make a difference.
Still going on about Mount.
Listen, I'll back him to the hill. Mount's my boy.
I think.
How
Sancho's
old is
gonna-
Mount? He's
yeah.
like 24, isn't he?
22, 23.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Saka will win the player of the year, the young player of the year. 'Cause I think he'll have a good season this season.
Alright. I'm going for. I think Saka is going to win it, but as I said him last year, I'll mix it up now. I'll say Harvey Elliott, because there's an opportunity there in the midfield for that third spot. He might not play all the games, but I just think he's just got a bit of a spark to him, and he could have a very good season.
So I'm sure I'll agree with you. Yeah, Saka. Saka seems like the more likely one. Obviously, the Mason Mount, he's a bit old now.
Sterling can't win it now.
Yeah. I just had to Google how old Haaland was because I thought he might have been 21, but no, he's 22. Otherwise, he would have been easy.
Alright. Golden boot, guys.
I think Kane. Kane's always the one.
Yeah, Kane for me as well.
Kane, easiest of the lot, I think.
Especially under confidence.
As long as he doesn't get injured, though, of course.
Yeah.
But even when he's injured, he's still 20 plus there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a joke, man. Actually,
If he was son, plus that honestly Perisic on that left hand side is.
Kulusevski, he's a good playmaker. He gets loads of assists.
He's on that
for
other.
them
He's
as
on that
well.
other side. He's on that right
But
hand side.
is he signed though for this season? Because wasn't he on loan?
Yeah, he has. He has.
Has he
Yeah,
not?
yeah.
Oh, has he signed? Oh, okay. Yeah, he's a great player.
But yeah, Harry Kane under Conte, like we mentioned before, with the Conte with Costa, with Lukaku, he's just got a thing for getting the best out of strikers. It's similar with Mourinho as well.
Yeah.
Look at Kane under
I'm
Mourinho.
going to go different to you guys again, though. I'm going to say Haaland, because I just think he will stat pad when City win 6 and 7-0. And I think Harry Kane's a bit more of a rotation risk, because they've got so many attackers, while City only really have 2 strikers. But yeah, we've only got a few minutes left, so let's go for Player of the Year. Last year, Mohamed Salah won it.
Rubbish again. Rubbish.
KDB wasn't it? The Premier League one.
Oh, PFA I think was Salah.
Oh,
I think they
okay.
split it, didn't they?
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, rubbish.
Premier League player was De Bruyne.
Stats. Look at the stats.
I think I was thinking
Son,
of the FIFA one there.
Son had no penalty goals in his
Yeah, but Salah had the most assists as well.
rubbish.
No, Salah deserved it last year. Salah
disagree.
deserved it.
I will say 2 years ago though, Harry Kane should have won it. De Bruyne did not deserve that one.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, that's only because City won the league.
I'm still going De Bruyne
So-
this year because he keeps getting it for free. So it's De Bruyne this year for me.
I think Salah.
I'll agree with you. You going Salah?
Yeah, I think
I'm gonna
Salah's
go
gonna have
madness.
I
I'm
think
gonna
he's
go
gonna have a good
madness.
year.
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane Player of the Year.
No, you
I
have to
feel
win
like
the league.
this-
Oh, but then I
No, you
predicted
don't.
Liverpool to win the league. Didn't
You don't have. Yeah, you don't have to win the league.
You said Liverpool, yeah.
I feel like Harry
No,
Kane's
I
gonna
don't
have
think-
a very good season.
I don't think Salah's going to win it because there's voter fatigue. Like, the guy hasn't even been in the FIFA like, Team of the Year yet, like the World Team of the Year yet. And yeah, I just think it's De Bruyne's turn now. They kind of just like swapping it every year, so I'll go with De Bruyne because I said they'll win the league as well. But yeah, I think that's a wrap. It's been a good chat for an hour, boys. And yeah, been on for an hour. And yeah, in about 9 months' time, we'll look back at this episode and realise how wrong we all were. But yeah, cheers for coming on, boys. Yeah, hopefully back for another episode sometime soon.
Pleasure as always.
Cheers,
Yeah, it's
bro.
been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice one. And yeah, subscribe if you're new, leave a like. Let us know your predictions down below. I'll see you in the next one.